Injuries compounding uncertainty. But 6 games remain. The season is not lost. Support is still strong. And hope for success remains alive.
SEC College Football Saturday is presented by Coors Light. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Joker Phillips brings his Kentucky Wildcats to town, looking to break up a losing streak. As Tyler Wilson, Arkansas born and bred, and his head coach, John L. Smith, ready for this SEC battle tonight from Fayetteville. Hi, everybody. Bob Rathman, Tim Couch, and a pleasure to have you with us tonight. Arkansas with a big road win at Auburn last week. The question before the house, Mr. Couch, is this: can they maintain that momentum and turn this season around?
Well, I think so, and it's going to be up to Tyler Wilson, their senior quarterback, if that's going to happen. Tyler turned down the NFL last year to come back to Arkansas, and so far, team-wise, it's been a disaster, but Tyler Wilson has been outstanding this year. He leads the SEC at 317 yards per game passing, and he is committed to getting Arkansas back to another bowl game. And defensively, the problem with Arkansas has been on the defensive side of the ball. They've given up a ton of yards and a ton of points so far this season. But last week against Auburn, they were outstanding as a unit. 8 sacks in that football game. They forced 5 turnovers, and Trey Flowers was the man. He had 3.5 sacks last week against Auburn. And Kentucky will have to account for him. And whatever they have to do, if they have to double team him on the line, use backs or a tight end to his side, they have to get him blocked.
Both teams have had more than their fair share of injuries this season, perhaps none more so than Kentucky. Defensively, they'll be challenged tonight, no doubt about it, but Avery Williamson coming out of that middle linebacking spot will have something good to say.
He sure will, and Kentucky right now is last in the SEC in rush defense, so look for Arkansas to try to come out with Niall Davis and Dennis Johnson to run the football, but for Kentucky, if they're going to shut that running game down, Avery Williamson has to be the guy. Right now, he leads the SEC in tackles. He's a very good football player and a guy to keep your eye on tonight for Kentucky.
An East Division versus West Division matchup tonight. This is just the 7th time that Kentucky and Arkansas have gone head-to-head. And they meet under the lights on SEC College Football Saturday. We're live in Fayetteville, back with the kickoff and tonight's ball game right after this. Kentucky and Arkansas tonight. The Hogs have been called. Here come the Razorbacks. And right behind them, the Kentucky Wildcats. The Cats come to Fayetteville tonight, a daunting challenge on their hands because of what's happened to their roster and their youth. For more on the story, we introduce the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Elizabeth Morrow.
Bob, thank you. Injury after injury after injury has plagued this Kentucky team, the majority of those occurring in the centralized position, either season-ending or surgery needed. Of the 68 players that made the trip here to Fayetteville, 42 of them are listed as sophomores or younger. 14 true freshmen have seen time this year. Last weekend against Mississippi State, true freshman Khalid Henderson looked around on his side of the ball and said it felt like he was lining up on a high school all-star team. Coach Phillips told us, you get some big, bright eyes, that's expected. Everything is new to these young guys, but we recruited them for a reason, and it's been exciting to see them get better every single day.
We were talking with Joker Phillips during the week, Tim, and I said, have you ever gone through anything like this? And he said, well, actually, we have. If you go back to 2005, the Cats suffered through 33 surgeries that season, but Joker was saying it built depth, and it led to that run of 5 straight bowl games starting at 06.
And that's exactly what Kentucky is hoping for. You know, it's a lot of, like we said, it's a lot of youth out on the field right now, and it's a tough time for Kentucky, but these young guys are gaining invaluable experience playing on the road in these SEC games, an opportunity they weren't going to get without the injuries. And like you said, Bob, hopefully for Kentucky, it will pay off in the future.
The head coach at Arkansas is John L. Smith. His team bouncing back in a big way. We talked about the win last week at Auburn. Of course, this is an Arkansas team that was preseason top 10, had visions of perhaps playing for a national championship this season. They've got Alabama and LSU at home. Of course, we all know how it's deteriorated with a 4-game losing streak. But, Tim, there's still a lot to play for the Razorbacks.
There's a lot to play for, and there's a lot of pride on this football team. I just look at guys like Tyler Wilson, their senior quarterback, who turned down the NFL to come back. He's an Arkansas guy. He's from this state. Wearing this Arkansas jersey means so much to him, and he wants to get this season back on track and take Arkansas to another bowl game.
The weather, to put it mildly, is deteriorating. It's okay right at the moment, 68 degrees. The winds are starting to gust a bit, and that is the precursor to a major storm, which will be arriving here very soon. So we'll keep an eye on the skies and let you know how it affects our ball game. The kickoff by Hawker, and here we go from Fayetteville. 5 yards deep in the end zone, and taking a knee is DeMarcus Sweat, and here come the Wildcats. They won the toss, selected to receive, so they'll have first crack at it here tonight. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And coming in, our Toyota quarterback, true freshman Jalen Whitlow.
Jalen Whitlow made his first start last week against Mississippi State. He's the 3rd quarterback to start for Kentucky this year. Max Smith started out the season, played very well. He's out with an injury. Morgan Newton started a game at Florida. He's healthy, but he is not the starter. So Max Smith making his first SEC road start for Kentucky.
And it will be a handoff to Jonathan George. And positive yards, turning the corner. The junior from Lincoln, Alabama, with the game's first carry. Let's take a look at our Toyota key defenders tonight for Arkansas. Byron Jones been playing well at tackle. Terrell Williams coming off a big performance at Auburn last week. Ross Rassner has been so versatile. A key man tonight as they play 5 defensive backs. Again, the Cats keep it on the ground. Jalen Whitlow over the 30, and it sets up a 3rd and about 3. Trey Flowers, we talked about him in the open, getting in on an early tackle.
Great week last week against Auburn, but I think that's what you're going to see a lot from Kentucky tonight with Jalen Whitlow. He's a very athletic quarterback. Kentucky will use him in a lot of different ways, trying to get him on the edge in the run game. Quarterback counters, quarterback draws. We'll see it a lot tonight.
Pressure and the sack. And there comes Ross Rassner coming up from that, what they call a star position, a 5th defensive back with the pressure.
You see Rassner just coming off the edge here. No one blocks him. It looked like the back may have had responsibility right there, or the quarterback, Jalen Whitlow, has to realize he's hot and get that football to the uncovered back out in the flat.
So a 3 and out. And that will bring Landon Foster to the game to punt for Kentucky. Very good kick. Backpedaling to the 26 for a fair catch is Keontae Minor. 48-yard punt. And now getting set for his first snap of the night, Tyler Wilson.
Well, the season really unfolded for Arkansas after the ULM loss, and Tyler Wilson was injured in that football game. He didn't play against Alabama in that blowout loss, but since Tyler's been back out on the field, he's been outstanding. Over 300 yards a game passing. He's their senior leader. He's battle-tested in this conference. He's got a great target on the outside in Colby Hamilton, who averages about 18 yards per catch. So look for those two guys to try to exploit a very young Kentucky secondary tonight.
Kyle Davis is the motion man. And Tyler will test those young men in the secondary right away. A completed pass, and this may go the distance. Touchdown, Arkansas. Jonathan Williams. 74 yards. Jonathan Williams lined up in the backfield. They set Davis in motion, sent Williams down the side, and Tim, it was a big home run shot.
Here's Jonathan Williams lined up in the backfield. He's just going to get to the edge of this Kentucky defense. And first of all, it's great protection. And there's a guy out there for Kentucky, a defender. He slips and falls. And then it's just pure athletic ability by Williams, cutback ability, and he's off to the races. First play of the game. Couldn't be a better start for Arkansas.
Bring all that back.
Zach Hawker pounds it through. And just like that, Arkansas has the game's first points. Tyler Wilson's 10th touchdown pass, 7-0 Hogs. Saturday is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Coors Light, by Crystal, and by Ford. 7-0 Arkansas. As the Razorbacks are Wendy's first tonight, first time this season. They have scored on an opening drive, and not only the opening drive, the opening play of the game, a 74-yard touchdown pass to Jonathan Williams, the freshman. And Arkansas is out in front 7-0. Zach Hawker to kick it away for the Razorbacks. Raymond Sanders, one of the deep men, along with DeMarcus Sweat. This is Sweat coming over, and 3 yards deep will run it out. Could make it out only to the 7. Down to the field, and Elizabeth.
Guys, thank you. Tyler Wilson told us this practice this week, his team has their pep back in the step. We put everything together. We had a perfect Thursday practice. A ball did not hit the ground. No errors, no mental errors on his part. Alfred Davis added, this week of practice has been the best so far communication-wise. Yesterday was as good as it gets. They have to keep the momentum up, though. Keep talking, and he made a huge point. His defense has got to stay calm.
Sanders is the lone setback, with Whitlow out of the gun. Sanders tries the middle. Nothing there. Ratner plugging the hole.
Ratner doing a nice job playing that star position. It's basically a nickelback position, blitzing off the edge, forcing Sanders to cut that back up the middle. He wanted to try to get to the edge, but Ratner was there to make the play.
Trey Flowers, 86. We talked about him. He's had 7 tackles for losses this year. No gain here. 2nd down and 10. No passing attempts yet. Kentucky keeping it on the ground, and that time, big number 57, Jared Green. That is the strength of this Arkansas defense. These interior linemen, and they will shuffle 9 through the 4 positions during the game.
They will. They get a lot of fresh bodies coming at you. But Kentucky right now, Arkansas is challenging them. They're playing 8 guys up in the box. They're one-on-one out on the outside. They're going to take away the running game from Kentucky and try to force Jalen Whitlow to beat them passing.
From his end zone, a screen, and big yardage. First down for Kentucky is Jonathan George with the catch and go.
A great play call by Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator. You're getting pressure. They're going to slide Jonathan George out here on the screen. And look at the block by number 67, Larry Warford. They're all SEC guard, just getting down the field, showing his athletic ability and springing Jonathan George. A big first down for Kentucky. They needed that. They went 3 and out on the first possession. They give up a touchdown on the first offensive play of the game for Arkansas. They have to come back and move this football and keep that Arkansas offense on the sideline.
This time it's a snap directly to Sanders. He gets it over the 40 and out to about the 43-yard line. So Joker's starting to open up that playbook just a bit.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of things out of Kentucky tonight, a lot of trick plays, but watch the quarterback, Whitlow. He's going to walk off like he's trying to get something from the sideline, and it catches the Arkansas defense off guard, and Sanders is 10 yards down the field before they realize what's hit him.
1st and 10 for Kentucky at the Wildcat 43-yard line. That was a pickup of 14 yards. Shields, the tight end, as an H-back here on the delay. The throw goes to the outside and incomplete. Marco Robinson, the intended receiver, and once again, incredible pressure on the edge. This young man, Trey Flowers, was the SEC's lineman of the week last week. 3.5 sacks, 2 quarterback hurries at Auburn. He has really been a force over these past 2 games. 2nd and 10 for Whitlow. Incomplete. A bullet that went right past Ronnie Shields. Time now for our forward keys to the game tonight.
Well, for Arkansas offensively, they have to exploit this young secondary as they did on the first offensive play of the game. 3 true freshmen back there. Defensively, they have to carry over that intensity they had in the Auburn game. 8 sacks and 5 turnovers. for Kentucky offensively. No turnovers. Don't put your defense in a bad situation. And defensively, you have to pressure Tyler Wilson. As we saw, if you give him time to throw the football, he will hurt you down the field.
Another screen, but under duress. Whitlow's pass is incomplete. And that time, Terrell Williams, who is making his 4th consecutive start for the Razorbacks, with big-time heat on Whitlow.
Good job by Arkansas. They brought the blitz. Kentucky had a nice play set up. It was a screen play. They were trying to get the football to Raymond Sanders out in the flat, and it was there. Anytime you call a screen, that's what you're looking for, is the blitz, and just drop the football off behind them. But Whitlow, with an errant thrower, that play would have went for a big one.
Landon Foster to punt. Coming out of the end zone. Here's Keontae Minor. Gets a block on the corner and pushed out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Timeout on the field. 10:42 to go. Opening quarter from Fayetteville. Arkansas 7, Kentucky nothing. Period. And now Arkansas takes over 1st and 10 from their own 25. Razorbacks have had but one snap, and it was a touchdown pass from Tyler Wilson. Now swing it out to Kobe Hamilton. And he'll take the football out to about the 34-yard line. For the Kentucky Wildcats, our Toyota key defensive performers, Colin Zukwu had 3 sacks this year. Alvin Bud Dupree, very consistent at that linebacking spot. Zach Blaylock is going to get the start tonight, a true freshman. This is just the 2nd game that he's played. They were hoping to have redshirted Zach. His twin brother Darren had been playing for Kentucky. Hamilton underneath, little shimmy shake, and gets out to about the 38. Ukwu coming up to make the tackle. That's a gain of 6.
We're just trying to get the football into Kobe Hamilton's hands right now. Normally he's their deep threat, but the last 2 plays, it's just been little dump offs in the flat, just finding different ways to continue to get the football to Kobe Hamilton.
This is Dennis Johnson. Over the 40 to about the 42-yard line. If you're Rick Minter, the defensive coordinator of Kentucky, you've got all these youngsters playing in that secondary, true freshman after true freshman, only one senior back there in Cartier-Rice. What message have you been preaching to your club this week?
It's all about communication, Bob. That's all it is. When you have young guys in the secondary, you have to communicate the coverages, the blitzes, the fronts. They all go hand in hand, and these young guys have to be on the same page. And that's normally where you see mishaps in the secondary, is just simply a lack of communication.
Big hole for Johnson to the Kentucky 45. Darren Blaylock coming up to apply the tackle.
Dennis Johnson, a great game last week against Auburn. 17 carries for 76 yards in that football game. And a nice job up front by that Arkansas offensive line. Their center, Travis Swanson, their left guard, Tyler Deacon, opening up a huge hole for Dennis Johnson.
Gain of 14. 1st and 10. Wilson dumps it. It's complete. Over the 30 and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Morgan Linton with an 18-yard pickup, the sophomore.
Well, we talked about it, Bob. Communication. Here goes Linton out in the flat. Linton, I'm sorry. It's just no one's talking. No one's out there to cover in the flat. All the secondaries dropping back there. All have their eyes on the quarterback. They're not playing their responsibility. Have to have a flat defender, or they're just going to throw underneath all night.
Morgan Linton, a 3rd-string walk-on. Takes the football to the 26, 1st down, Razorbacks. Wilson looking, end zone, incomplete. And the intended receiver was Mikhail McKay, but good coverage that time from Darren Blaylock.
Well, there's one of those freshmen we talked about, Darren Blaylock. That is an excellent play on the back end of this thing. Tyler Wilson on the bootleg gets a deep post. Initially, he's beat. He bites up on the coverage, but he's able to recover. The ball kind of hung. It's a very windy night here in Fayetteville. The ball kind of hung up on Tyler Wilson, giving Darren Blaylock a chance to recover and knock that football away.
2nd and 10. good hit as Dennis Johnson got to the line of scrimmage for Kentucky. A big hit applied that time by one of these guys coming out of the back. I think we've got a number change as Kentucky's Josh Forrest came up to make the play. Wilson to throw, and it's complete to the 12-yard line. When Tyler needs a receiver, he first looks to Kobe Hamilton.
No doubt about it. Anytime you give him protection like this to throw the football, look at this offensive line protection, how clean the pocket is for Tyler Wilson just to survey the field and step up and throw that football. And Kobe Hamilton, he makes the tough catches for you across the middle.
And did you see our umpire duck out of the way, Jeff Roberson?
Wilson threw a laser right at his head, huh?
First and 10 from the 12.
Tyler Wilson changing the play. A lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. Look for maybe a play action pass here from Tyler.
Johnson stumbled, tried to plant that foot and cut back inside. And a gain to the 10. 2 yards for Dennis Johnson.
Let's see what offensive coordinator Paul Petrino, who's in the box now. He was on the field for the first few games of the year, was in the box last week for the Auburn game and said he could see things much better and get it down to Tyler. So a lot of guys in the box for Kentucky, as I mentioned on the last play. See if Arkansas comes back with a play action pass here.
Johnson on the ground to the 2.
Like Arkansas continues to feel confident they're just going to run the football no matter how many people are in the box right now. That offensive line doing a great job. The left tackle David Hurd doing a nice job sealing that edge and allowing Dennis Johnson to cut it up for a nice gain, setting up a 3rd and short situation.
The 11th play of this drive. Johnson walks in, touchdown.
Well, they found something on that left side of this Kentucky defensive line they feel like they can exploit in the block by Morgan Linton, the big fullback. We saw him catch a pass out on the flat on that drive and a great block down on the goal line by the big fullback to allow Dennis Johnson just to walk into the end zone.
Hocker adds the PAT. 6:12 to go, first quarter. Dennis Johnson with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. 14-0 Arkansas. Kia Motors and the 2013 Sorento crossover, the official vehicle of the SEC. With Tim Couch and Elizabeth Morrow, Bob Rathman back in Fayetteville. 14-0 Arkansas, 6:12 to go in our opening quarter. Dennis Johnson was the featured back on that drive. He carried the ball 6 times on that drive for 28 yards, and the touchdown run was of 3. So the Cats ready to get it back, down 14-0. Raymond Sanders and DeMarcus Sweat, the deep men, and the junior Zach Hocker ready to kick it away for the home team. And this boot will sail completely out of the end zone for the touchback. Down to the field, Andy Elizabeth.
Guys, thank you. The rain is slowly starting to come down here. What Paul Petrino likes about Dennis Johnson is that he's the guy that will take the first hit. He accepts that role. Even if he gets 1 or 2 yards, it sets him up for a good play. He had 2 touchdowns last weekend, 1 already today. Coach Smith said that Johnson's hot right now, so we're going to keep going to him. He loves his toughness, and right now he's filling a big void in that running game for Arkansas.
Dennis Johnson has been such an incredible performer here at Arkansas. Not only his running, but also his ability to return kicks. One of the all-time greats to wear the Razorback red and white, no doubt about that. Lidlow, too tall, incomplete, right in front of the Kentucky bench.
I think that's a problem that's happened so far with Jalen Whitlow since he's been the starter. He's a little bit hesitant to throw the football. They're just trying to call a little first down hitch route to the outside, pick up 4 or 5 yards. Aaron Boyd, the senior wide receiver from Lexington, was wide open on the hitch route, and he just needs to drop back and hit that back foot, let the ball come out of his hand. That's his 4th straight incompletion. They got to give him a confidence builder, some short throws here in this game.
Runs it to the 28. What a tough spot that everybody's in. The coaching staff, these young players, there wasn't a thought that these guys would be playing this year, but all of a sudden, Joker Phillips has got to retool it on the fly.
He does, and Jalen Whitlow's going to be a very good football player for Kentucky, but he did not expect to come in here and be the starting quarterback in an SEC road game for Kentucky this year. He's out here, he's doing the best he can. The playbook is very thinned down from what it was when Max Smith was a quarterback, so it's a very different looking Kentucky offense right now.
Whitlow throws, and that went right through the hand. Incomplete. E.J. Fields just could not hang on to it, and another 3 and out for Kentucky.
Well, accuracy's been an issue for Whitlow since he's been a starter, only completing 46% of his passes. That time tried to get the football, moved the pocket a little bit, tried to get it to E.J. Fields out in the flash to pick up that first down, and throw was just a little bit out of reach of E.J. Fields.
Landon Foster will punt. Receiving the football at his 15. Line drive. This will bounce and get a nice Kentucky roll inside the 20 to the 13-yard line. Touch there. Time for tonight's Bass Pro Shops catch of the game. And we go right away to the first play from scrimmage for the Razorbacks and Jonathan Williams.
Jonathan Williams, the freshman running back out of the backfield. You see he just gets up on a wheel route, and the running ability, the run after the catch. That's the thing about when you get running backs, the football out in space, these guys who can catch the ball out of the backfield, they become such a big weapon because of their run after the catch ability.
And that storm that we told you about, Elizabeth just reported on, is here. Rain is whipping down on the turf. Niall Davis to the 19-yard line, a 6-yard pickup. This has been a mystery, Tim. Niall Davis, after missing all of last year with a fractured left ankle, has been unable to regain the form that saw him lead the SEC in rushing in 2010.
Well, he's such a great player back in 2010. Over 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. He had the injury. He missed all of last season, and he just hasn't looked the same this season. I don't think it's a physical thing. I think he's healthy from the injury. I think it's just a mental thing where he's not trusting that foot and not trying to just lower his head and get all the yards he can get and not grind for those tough yards.
Kobe Hamilton off that play action.
Well, this is what running the football gets you. It's play action ability. You see Tyler Wilson just sticks the football in the belly of the running back. Kentucky has to honor that because of the way Arkansas has been running the football in this game, and it's just a corner route by Kobe Hamilton, and these two guys can pitch it and catch it as well as anyone in the SEC.
17-yard pickup. 1st and 10 Arkansas. Kentucky's been unable to stop the Razorbacks here in the opening quarter, and now with the rain pelting down, Tyler Wilson goes under center. Rolling, throwing, complete. Williams rolled up at the 36 for no gain. Avery Williamson. It's off the bottom of that pile. Williamson, a terrific player. 2nd in the league in tackles per game. He leads Kentucky 64 tackles this year, really playing the best football of his career.
He is playing great football, but Kentucky defensively, they have to find a way to get pressure on quarterback Tyler Wilson. You see the lightning over the stadium here.
And the referees are looking around. We may get a stoppage here. That was pretty scary. Colton Lending outside the stadium as Niall Davis takes it over the 40 to about the 41-yard line. And I believe that play is going to be suspended here. The officials are huddling. Many fans have taken cover. And this storm, which we had feared was going to hit, is here.
Offside on the defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
So the flag goes against the Kentucky Wildcats. Play on, say the officials. Well, now they blow the whistle. And our referee, David Smith, wants to get some clarification on the weather. Well, they talked to the operations people here at Arkansas. And now David wants to, I believe, communicate up in the press box. But that was a nasty bolt of lightning.
It was.
That flashed before we had that last play run and the penalty flag was thrown. And play has been suspended.
The game has been suspended because of lightning is within 6 miles of the stadium.
Well, we can vouch for that. So the teams head to the locker rooms and a weather delay in Fayetteville. We will send it to our studio and Andre Aldrich right after these messages. Delay. Arkansas leading 14-0 over Kentucky. 3:32 remaining at the time of the stoppage. Bob Rathbun, Tim Couch back with you. And we have had one major rainstorm accompanied by the lightning pass through Fayetteville and here at Razorback Stadium. We are told that the officials will meet with the coaches at 7:15 Central Time, and you can hear the thunder behind us. At that time, they're going to take one look and see if they can get the game restarted at that time. The teams, Tim, will be allowed 10 minutes of warm-ups and then resume play after that. But there's a big but in there, and that is there is another storm, much worse, much bigger than the one we just saw, that's right around the corner. So we may be here for a while.
We might be here for a while, but, you know, it's all about the safety of the players and the fans, and we got to see what happens with the weather.
No question about it. Let's bring you up to date if you're just joining us tonight with our Hyundai game summary. Kentucky, we've talked about their offensive problems. It played out in that first quarter as their true freshman quarterback, Jalen Whitlow, was just 1 for 6. On the other side of the coin, you've got the battle-tested senior who will be playing on Sundays next fall. Tyler Wilson hit 7 of 8 to start his night.
And he got off to such a hot start. The first offensive play of the game, he throws a 74-yard touchdown pass to Williams out of the backfield, and it's just Tyler Wilson just knows in the secondary for Kentucky they have 3 true freshmen back there, so he's going to exploit these guys, and he's doing exactly what we thought he would do. 7 out of 8 throwing the football. He's distributing it very well, getting Colby Hamilton involved as well, and Kentucky is doing exactly what we thought, struggling on defense to stop this running game. Dennis Johnson running the football well behind that big offensive line. So Arkansas right now is doing exactly what they want to do to that Kentucky defense.
I'd like to take a moment here and talk a little bit about Tyler. We had a chance to meet him yesterday. Of course, here's a young man, Arkansas, born and bred, redshirted his freshman year, played behind Ryan Mallett for 2 and was wondering, hey, was this the right place for me? But he is a lifelong Razorback as a fan and now as a player here in the program. This is his ball club. Last year, they won 11 games. They finished 5th in the country, won the Cotton Bowl decisively, and big things after he turned down the NFL were sure to be had for him here at Arkansas. It didn't turn out that way. We all know about the 4-game losing streak that this ball club suffered through that was broken last week. But I must say, and Tim, I know you echo these same thoughts, as impressive a young man as we have met in quite some time.
Well, we get an opportunity, Bob, to do this every week where we talk to these players around the SEC, and we've met some great young guys. But I don't think I've ever walked away from one of these meetings with the players more impressed with a college quarterback than I was with Tyler Wilson. He just gets it, not only on the field and what he has to do, he gets it off the field. He can be the face of your franchise. He's been a great representative of this University of Arkansas, and he'll be a great representative of whatever NFL team decides to draft him. But not only a super talented kid, but a level-headed guy, someone that the fans of Razorback Nation can be very proud of.
And something that is in short supply these days, he is a leader.
He is very much a leader. He's a vocal leader in the locker room. He leads by example out on the field, and he's the guy, like you said, he had an opportunity to go to the NFL, but he's out here struggling through this season with these guys, and he is as committed as anyone on this football team.
All right, more coverage ahead. Stay with us on SEC College Football Saturday. It's 14-0 Arkansas first quarter in a lightning delay at Fayetteville. Studio after the break. Arkansas, as our lightning and weather delay continues, let's get the latest down outside the officials' locker room. Annie Elizabeth Morrow.
Bob, thank you, and I'm with head official David Smith, sorry. Can you give us an update?
Well, there's a system coming through right now, and we've got a window of opportunity to play in about 20 or 30 minutes, but it's not very big, so we may not be able to get started at that point. There's another system coming through that is not going to be through until about 10 or 10:30, so we may be here for a little while before we play again.
All you can tell us right now?
That's all we have right now.
All right, thank you. Bob?
And that is indeed what the radar is showing us up here in the press box, that there is a major storm behind the one that we've already witnessed here, and much more bad weather on the way. And certainly that's the consideration that the officials have right now, is do we bring them back out and play only to stop it again? We might as well just wait.
Yeah, I think you just wait, especially with the other system right on the heels of this one. By the time you get the guys out of the locker room, have them warm up, get back out on the field, the last thing you want to do is suspend play. Again, it's very tough on a player to go to the locker room, get warmed up, and then have to go back and do all that again. And so I think you just wait and see what the next system looks like.
And let's take a look at what the scores look like. And a very busy SEC day. Most of the action under the lights tonight. Afternoon finals, Ole Miss breaks that long losing streak in conference play as they knock off Auburn 41-20 in Oxford today. And Alabama, they had their weather problems as well in Columbia today. And the number one team in the country with a 42-10 win.
Yeah, Alabama's just playing tough right now. On the road, wherever they have to play, it's just a very tough team to go against. You see Florida and Vanderbilt. That game, for some reason, no matter what it looks like on paper, has always been pretty tight. And Vanderbilt playing, we had the game of Vanderbilt and Missouri last week. Vandy got a big road win in that one. So playing with some confidence right now, hanging tough with Florida in the third quarter of that football game.
And a couple of biggies to come later tonight. Let's check out the standings in the East. You've got South Carolina and Florida at 4-0. And even though Georgia had that big loss last week to the Gamecocks, this East Division race is far from over.
It's far from over, and you have to remember, Georgia lost to South Carolina last year, and they still went on to win the East. So there's a lot of football left to be played in the East, and you have to say that the East is the transition from the strength last year. It was in the West, but now it's in the East right now.
And we showed you that Mississippi State-Tennessee matchup that's coming up a little bit later this evening. Here you've got two ball clubs in Mississippi State and Texas A&M that are nipping at the heels of Alabama to stay at the top of that West Division. This is a big ball game for Mississippi State tonight.
It really is a big ball game. They haven't played a tough schedule so far this season, but this is going to be a test. Tyler Bray and his receiving corps will be the biggest challenge that they faced all year in that secondary.
And don't sleep on Texas A&M. This is a ball club that, after having lost that Florida game, has really picked up a lot of momentum behind Johnny Manziel. They have a very interesting game tonight. That's the makeup game that they're playing in Shreveport against another nationally ranked team in Louisiana Tech. The scoreboard might explode in that game.
It might explode. Two high-powered offenses. Louisiana Tech averaging 53 points a game. They lead the WAC in rushing, also a very balanced attack. But where the problem is with La Tech, they have a hard time stopping anyone. So Johnny Manziel should have a field day in that one.
All right. We will continue with more of our coverage. Stay with us. SEC College Football Saturday continues from Arkansas in just a moment. Our lightning delay continues with the Razorbacks on top 14-0. Bob Rathman and Tim Couch back with you here in the press box in Fayetteville. And very impressive was Arkansas. They came out and took care of business on those first two drives.
Well, they did. The first offensive play of the game, I think they wanted to be aggressive and challenge this young Kentucky secondary. Three true freshmen starting back there. They hit the big play on the first play of the game, and Tyler Wilson off to a great start in this football game.
Hit 7 of his first 8 passes. Let's bring you the rest of our Quicken Loans game summary. 13 plays for 41 yards to date for the Kentucky offense. 15 plays, 171 yards for Arkansas. And rolling in their first two drives.
They are, and it was a great mixture. Offensive coordinator Paul Petrino mixing up the run and the pass. Dennis Johnson getting big chunks of yardage in the run game, and Tyler Wilson, Kobe Hamilton connected on a couple throws, and Tyler doing a nice job, a better job than he's done all year of spreading the football around to a lot of different wide receivers.
Interesting, isn't it, Tim, how fragile a season can be? Here's an Arkansas team that was ranked preseason top 10. They think that it's just going to come to them naturally. I think most young people do after they've had all the success that they've had here these last few years. Then all of a sudden, Tyler gets hurt in the Monroe game halftime, gets dinged up, comes out with a head injury, can't return. That whole thing unraveled so quickly, and they lost in overtime. And as the players were telling us yesterday, that Louisiana Monroe game beat the Razorbacks not once, not twice, but 3 times.
And you hear coaches talk about that a lot. When you lose a game like that, when you're such a big favorite and you come out, don't let that team beat you again, because you get so down, like you said, Bob, where they come into a season, they're top 10 in the country, so much is expected of them, then you lose to a team like ULM, your confidence just goes down the tank. And you can't do that as a football team. You got to come out the next week, put that loss behind you, and realize it's still a long season and a lot to play for. And they unfortunately for Arkansas did not do that, as they went on a 4-game losing streak.
Let us roll back the pages in the record book. We have gone deep into the archives. For our flashback today, our GMC Video Vault takes us to Tim Couch's incredible day. 47 of 67 for 499 yards. That was here at Arkansas, well, actually in Little Rock, on October the 3rd of 1998. What a day you had. 67
passes. My arm is still sore from that game. We threw a lot of balls. You know, as a quarterback, though, you only remember the bad things. I remember we were up in that football game, the whole game, and I threw an interception late in that football game that led to Arkansas taking the lead on us. We had a chance to win it late. The last play of the game, I threw a ball in the end zone, went off a receiver's hand. So, unfortunately, we lost that game, but it was a fun one to play in.
You know, I wanted to mention this to you yesterday after we met with Tyler. What would you say to him about the kind of season that he's experiencing? You know, the future's all in front of him. He's going to be a terrific pro. What would you say? What advice would you give him?
Well, I think Tyler already knows what to do. You know, I would tell him to continue to do what he's been doing, and that is just continue on the path that he's been on. Continue to work hard. Continue to be the leader for this football team in the locker room. They look to Tyler Wilson. The teams, when things go bad, they look to their quarterback. They say to see how they're supposed to react. When Tyler Wilson is a guy who's played so well here at his time in Arkansas, they want to know how Tyler's going to handle the situation. The way he's handled this, I think, has been beneficial for the entire team, saying our leader is handling this well. He's continuing to work. He's still committed to this thing. He still wants to get us to a bowl game, so we're going to follow behind him.
Outstanding. Well, we are in a holding pattern. The guys want to get back in the field and play. We'll see if the officials will let them. Andre Aldridge back in Atlanta. We'll keep you up to date here. Has been lifted, and we will be back to playing football in about 4.5 minutes. The Wildcats and the Razorbacks have been granted a 10-minute warm-up period to restart this football game. And John L. Smith and the Razorbacks holding the upper hand. They will have the football when play resumes. Our referee tonight, David Smith from Birmingham, Alabama, checking in with head coach Smith of Arkansas. And the situation in terms of the weather has gone unchanged. We're in a little pocket of no rain. How long that lasts is anybody's guess. Joker Phillips has been apprised of the situation as well. There is a big storm yet to hit Fayetteville that will carry with it more rain and more, we suspect, more lightning and thunder, etc. So we may have yet another delay here. Hopefully we can play through it and get this first quarter restarted here. It'll be Arkansas ball near midfield as we get play underway once again. For Joker Phillips and the Wildcats, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak here tonight. They're in the teeth of a very difficult stretch that started with the Florida Gators in SEC play, continued at South Carolina, then Mississippi State. They've got Georgia next Saturday in Lexington before going to Missouri. And we've talked to him about how banged up they are, and so many young people having to fill key roles tonight. We talked earlier that 68 are healthy enough to travel. You get a maximum of 70 on the road in the SEC. Kentucky couldn't even fill that quota because of the injuries. Of the 68 who made the trip for Joker, 42 were underclassmen, freshmen or sophomores. Of the 30 defenders that Coach Phillips brought tonight, 23 are underclassmen. That is unheard of in major college football.
It really is. I've been around football for a long time. I don't know if I've ever heard anything like that or just seen one position in particular that was just ravished by injuries. The safety position for Kentucky has just been beat up all season long. There are 4 or 5 guys on that safety position that have been hurt and are out for the year. So a lot of freshmen playing right now in that secondary, and Tyler Wilson taking advantage of it. You see some of the defensive guys that have been out. Ashley Lowry with the head. Martavius Nellums, who they just had back a couple weeks ago. Now he's back out with the hamstring. He's a senior. He's a very good player for them in that back end, so they really miss him. Benton, Faulkner, Tyler, all these guys are out in the secondary, so that's why you're seeing the Blaylock twins, Zach and Darren, getting some playing time here tonight. And so far, Tyler Wilson's took advantage of them in the first couple drives of this game.
Meanwhile, for Arkansas, John L. and company trying to resurrect a season that really was getting away from them until they won at Auburn last week. 4 consecutive losses. The Alabama game, the first time the Razorbacks had been shut out at home since 1966. Then Rutgers came in here the very next week and stunned them 35-26. Another rout at Texas A&M, and it looked like the Arkansas program, Tim, was in free fall. But then they resurrected themselves. They went to Auburn. They got a much-needed win, and now they're trying to recapture that momentum that they found at Auburn, parlay it into a win tonight, and maybe get this ball club back to a bowl game.
Well, that's what it's all about. Anytime you get a victory in this conference, especially on the road like they were able to do last week against Auburn, it just gives you confidence. And I think, as Elizabeth mentioned early in the show, that they had one of the best weeks of practice that they've had, and that's off the heels of that win at Auburn. And I think that goes throughout the team, and everyone says, well, we got our win. We had lost 4 straight. Now we got that big victory at Auburn. Let's get this ship going in the right direction, get a victory here against Kentucky tonight, and try to make a run for a bowl game.
Just a few seconds remaining of this 10-minute allotment of time to get the ball clubs warmed up to restart the football game. Kentucky will be on defense as play resumes. The Razorbacks will have the football. A second down upcoming from the 41-yard line. John L. Smith, of course, placed in such a tough spot, having left this program to become the head coach at Weber State. When Bobby Petrino was let go, John was brought back on a 10-month contract to coach this ball club. The expectations remain the same. They started preseason number 8 in the country, and then the wheels came off pretty early. And John, with just a wonderful personality, trying to keep everybody's spirits up. But young people are young people, Tim, and when the expectation bar is as high as it was here, and you come crashing down with a 4-game losing streak, it tests the mettle of everybody, player, coach, and fan.
It does, and when something like that happens, there's a lot of finger pointing going on. It's the offense blaming the defense blaming the offense. Well, I think now that these two team units are on the same page now, and everyone's working together. As we saw last week against Auburn, the defense played outstanding. They forced 5 turnovers. They had 8 sacks in that football game. They set the offense up in tremendous field position, and Tyler Wilson and his offensive unit were able to take advantage of that.
A delay of 1 hour and 5 minutes. And we're ready to restart our SEC game. 3:32 left, first quarter, with Arkansas leading 14-0. And just a bit of a delay as referee David Smith confers with his side judge. Arkansas not ready to snap the football, and now Tyler Wilson talking things over with the officials as well. The wind is starting to pick up again, much like the winds that preceded the last storm an hour ago. And we will keep an eye on the sky, and hopefully we can play through the next rainstorm and there'll be no lightning delays. Many of the fans have returned, but also many have headed home. So here we go. Wilson to throw, and it's complete to the 48-yard line. And the grab made by Mikhail McKay picks up 8 yards, and that is going to be an Arkansas first down at the 49-yard line.
Freshman on freshman, Mikhail McKay going against Cody Quinn, the freshman defensive back for Kentucky, giving him a lot of room out there. Easy pitch and catch for Tyler Wilson and Mikhail McKay.
Niall Davis Good hard running, a 10-yard pickup on first down.
And that's what's been lacking from Niall Davis so far this season. He's kind of been dancing around in the backfield. That time he squared his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, put his head down, and kept his legs moving. And that's what the coaches have been wanting from Niall all season long. That time he saw a nice hole from the offensive line and exploded through it.
Look, I got to ask him, where's he at?
Wilson has time. Floats it complete. Down the sideline. Dive into the end zone. But out of bounds at the 6. Brandon Mitchell made the reception. Tried to get 6. It's a 35-yard pickup.
Well, it all starts with protection up front. If you give Tyler Wilson this much time to throw the football and you're playing that loose zone coverage in the secondary, he's going to pick you apart. Brandon Mitchell, a former quarterback, he understands coverages as well. Talk to Tyler Wilson about that. And Brandon Mitchell still comes to the quarterback meetings room. So certainly those two are on the same page on that play.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. Jonathan Williams. And now a timeout has been taken by Arkansas with 2:03 remaining in our first quarter. So Kentucky just unable to slow Arkansas down at all. As the total yards in this ball game, this is the first quarter, keep in mind, that Arkansas has already rolled up 225 yards. Let's go down to Elizabeth.
Bob, thank you. I talked to head athletic trainer for Kentucky, Jim Matalino, and he said what they did during the delay, they gave them a bunch of water, energy bars, Gatorade. They took their shoulder pads off, made them walk around. Then they did some coaching techniques to correct some mistakes. And when they heard the good news at 7:35, the shoulder pads went back on and they came back out.
I think that's very important. You have to stay loose in the locker room, and I think for Kentucky, you would hope that they would go into the locker room and make some adjustments. They had an opportunity to come out and see a couple drives from Arkansas. You think they would kind of have a feel for the game plan that Arkansas was going to try to use here and make some adjustments, but it is very tough with all those young guys in the secondary.
Wilson throws, complete, touchdown. Dennis Johnson.
The play call by offensive coordinator Paul Petrino. The last time they were down in this area of the field, they ran the football with Dennis Johnson. This time they do a little fake handoff to the fullback and sneak Dennis Johnson out in the flat. Kentucky obviously thinking run again down here with Johnson. He's wide open in the flat for an easy throw and catch from Tyler Wilson to Dennis Johnson.
Zach Hawker 3 for 3 on PATs, and Arkansas now leads 21-0. Dennis Johnson's second touchdown tonight. He ran one in before the bad weather from 3 yards and now catches a 5-yard touchdown pass. This is his first receiving touchdown of the year, and Arkansas, Tim, just continues to pour it on.
They really do. They're just being very aggressive with the play call, and I think they're able to do right now anything that they want to do. And Bobby Petrino is just picking a play. You know, if they want to run the football, they're getting chunks of yardage in the run game. In the pass game, Tyler Wilson is finding guys down the field. He's finding Brandon Mitchell. He's finding Mikael McKay. He's finding Colby Hamilton. So anything that Paul Petrino is dialing up right now, it's working for this Arkansas offense.
Kentucky to receive. 21-0 Arkansas. Coming in, these are the only two teams in the SEC who had not scored a touchdown on their first drive of the season in any game. Arkansas took care of that on the 74-yard pass play to Jonathan Williams. But Kentucky has done nothing with 3 possessions but punt the football. And the kickoff sails into the seats about 5 rows back. Incredible bomb by Zach Hawker and out to the 25-yard line. Our Regions Bank trivia question tonight. The first game in Arkansas football history was on this date,
1894.
Can you name the opponent? We are testing your history.
I have no idea on that one.
Jonathan George. And again, trying to get something on the ground against Arkansas has been extremely difficult.
It really has, especially on first down. Arkansas continues to put 8 people in the box on first down. They're leaving some one-on-one opportunities on the outside. Jalen Whitlow is going to have to hit some throws to loosen this secondary up.
Quarterback keeps it. And Jalen Whitlow pounded down as he crossed the 30 at the 31-yard line. A minute 20 and counting here in the first quarter. 21-0 Arkansas lead. Third and about 4 for the Cats. True freshman at quarterback, Jalen Whitlow.
4 wide receivers down here to the bottom of the screen. Look for maybe a little quick screen that will raise up and throw it out here in the flat.
Whitlow's going to run it. And Arkansas ready for it. Led by Trey Flowers, yet another tackle. What a sensational first quarter he has played.
Well, just playing with a ton of confidence off the heels of that Auburn game last week. And Kentucky just tried to spread the field. They went with 4 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen down here, trying to expand the Arkansas defense and get Whitlow in between the tackles to try to keep these chains moving. But Trey Flowers having none of that.
21-0. And a punt coming. Landon Foster's 4th of the first period. Minor waves it off. Dangerous as that ball rolls, but Arkansas gets out of the way. And Kentucky will down it at the 22. A 45-yard punt. Foster had a 56-yarder against Mississippi State last week, his longest punt of the season. So the Razorbacks will get it back. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. And they'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line as we approach the end of the first quarter here in Fayetteville. Williams in motion. Wilson to throw. Sideline complete. Sidestep and gone. He's done it again. Jonathan Williams, touchdown, Razorbacks.
Same play as they ran on the first offensive play of the game, sneaking Jonathan Williams out of the backfield.
yards. The young man is having an outstanding night. He ran the ball 6 times for 34 yards at Auburn. Tonight, they are dialing up the true freshman in the passing game, and he has responded. 28-0 Arkansas in the opening period. That's the end of the first quarter in Fayetteville. With an hour and 5-minute rain delay, but nothing has slowed up Arkansas's offense. 28-0 Razorbacks after 1. By Coors Light. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, Fayetteville, 28-0 Arkansas as we begin the second quarter here, and we'll begin it with a kickoff as Arkansas has posted 4 first quarter touchdowns. They've rolled up a massive 307 yards in total offense in the first quarter. Locker's kickoff. Drills another one. And it's going to go out of the end zone for the touchback. Tim, what's happening in that Kentucky secondary?
Well, it's the same play they ran early in the game. Right here is Jonathan Williams. This is his man. It's man coverage. That is Avery Williamson, the middle linebacker. Watch as he comes out. He's going to run the wheel route. Watch Williamson get called up in all these bodies right here. He's trying to get out to Jonathan Williams, but he can't get out there, and it leaves Tyler Wilson a wide open throw down the sideline. The safety, number 17, Zach Blaylock, tries to come over late, but Williams sidesteps and having a huge game. 3 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns already for Jonathan Williams.
And the handoff goes to Raymond Sanders. Morgan Newton has come in at quarterback for Kentucky. Raymond Sanders, the junior from Stone Mountain, Georgia, 15th in the SEC in rushing yards with 303. And Morgan Newton coming in out of the bullpen.
And Morgan Newton, a senior quarterback, he's a very highly recruited guy out of Indiana coming to Kentucky and just never has lived up to the expectations. Played a lot early in his career, but he's been banged up. He had the shoulder surgery in the offseason and got a start against Florida early this year and really struggled in that football game.
Down to the field, Andy Elizabeth.
Bob, thank you. Some observations from this Arkansas sideline. Injured Kiro Small, number 36, is going absolutely crazy down here in a good way. Tim, you mentioned it, that energy having to carry over for this Arkansas defense, and Alfred Davis is doing exactly what he said he would in our Friday meetings. He's keeping his defense calm.
Newton to throw, dumps it over the middle to Sanders, and he's got a Kentucky first down out to the 42-yard line.
See, Morgan Newton looks very comfortable in the pocket. He has played a lot of football in his career. He's been a starter, so he's not rattled by this atmosphere being on the road in an SEC environment. I think you'll see him very calm and throwing some short passes, getting the football out of his hand while he's in the game.
Incomplete to Robinson. The first down that Kentucky picked up, its third of the game. First quarter stats, Arkansas snapped the ball 20 times, 307 yards. Kentucky 16 snaps, 48 yards. Morgan Newton on 2nd and 10. Newton stays in bounds at the 46-yard line. Terrell Williams leading the defensive charge for the Razorbacks. Morgan Newton, you mentioned Tim coming off labrum surgery from a year ago. Third and 5. Newton will step up and run it. He's got the first down. Into Arkansas territory at the 46. 8-yard gain.
A nice job of Morgan Newton of going through his reads. It's man coverage across the board, which means everyone has a man to cover, but no one is able to account for the quarterback in that defense. So Morgan knows if he can just break through the initial rush, he'll have enough space to pick up a first down and keep this drive alive.
You mentioned his size, 6'4", 240. And he averages just about 6 yards per rush. First and 10. Newton will run it. That gain to the 41-yard line, about 4.5 yards on the pickup. Jared Lake, junior from Jenks, Oklahoma, with his first tackle of the night. Newton under pressure, tipped, incomplete, nearly intercepted. Back there, Jared Lake, 39, after it was deflected by Alfred Davis and put the pressure on him. And there is Lake. You look at the pressure. This is what we're talking about with Alfred, how well he's been playing lately.
Just pushes the pocket. He pushes his man right back into Morgan Newton, forces the high throw. Morgan trying to work that football into his tight end, Ronnie Shields, but the pressure forced the errant throw.
3rd and 6. Sack. Back at the 48-yard line. Coming through is Jared Green, number 57. The senior from Little Rock with the sack. His 2nd of the year.
Protection just breaks down on Morgan Newton this time. They have the deep pass play called, and they have to wait for the routes to develop down the field, and there's just simply not enough time, not enough protection from that offensive line to let Morgan Newton step up and deliver that football.
Foster ready to punt it. He's at 52 yards per punt tonight. Deontay Minor, the return man, on his own 10. Let this one go. It hits and goes into the end zone for the touchback. 51-yard punt. And Arkansas will have it from their own 20 when we come back. 11-16, second quarter, 28-0 Razorbacks. Brought to you by Toyota, by Regions Bank, by O'Charley's, by Z-Max, and by Quicken Loans. Welcome back to Razorback Stadium. 28-0 Arkansas. 11:16 to play in the second period. Arkansas getting the ball for the 5th time on their first 4 drives, 4 touchdowns, 307 yards. Tyler Wilson is 11 of 12 for 263 yards.
Not a bad first quarter, huh?
I guess so. 3 touchdowns. Niall Davis spun around and dropped at the 22. And a penalty flag, a face mask.
Looked like Avery Williamson, the middle linebacker, coming in that time and just trying to reach up and get a hand on Niall Davis and grab the face mask.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Take a look at Avery Williamson, the middle linebacker, as he shoots through here trying to get to Niall Davis. He kind of overruns the play. He's being blocked, so he just tries to throw a hand up. You can see clearly he grabbed a lot of face mask on Niall Davis.
From the 36, 1st and 10. Davis to the 40. The leading rusher for Arkansas coming in with 85 carries and 269 yards, but that explosiveness, we've seen it from time to time, but consistently it hasn't been there.
It hasn't been there, and you're exactly right. Only 3.1 yards per carry this season for Niall Davis. He had such a big year in 2010 with those 1,300 yards. That year he averaged 6.4 yards per carry, so he's not hitting the hole the way he was a couple years ago.
Wilson going deep, and it's going to be knocked down. As Kentucky's Cartier Rice was there to knock that baby down, or had that pass had a little more air under it, 6'4".
It did. Cartier Rice doing a nice job running stride for stride with Colby Hamilton. That's a nice matchup. Colby Hamilton, the senior wide receiver, one of the best in the SEC, going against the only experienced player in that secondary for Kentucky, Cartier Rice. He's a senior as well, so a nice job of one-on-one coverage and knocking that football away.
Plenty of time. Over the middle, caught. Brandon Mitchell produces an Arkansas first down at the Kentucky 42.
Kentucky continuing to not get any pressure on Tyler Wilson. That time they go with a 3-man rush, means 8 guys are in coverage, and Tyler Wilson still able to find it, guys. Hard to throw against that many guys in coverage, but the veteran quarterback is able to find his wide receiver, Brandon Mitchell, over the middle.
That time a little bit of pressure. The throw is incomplete, as Kentucky got a little pressure on him. McKay was the intended receiver. And that time Taylor Wyndham plays sort of that defensive end linebacker hybrid spot. Finally touched Tyler Wilson. Wilson now 12 of 15. Davis leaping to the 37-yard line.
This running style is exactly what coaches wanted more out of Niall Davis. They said he had his best week of practice of hitting the hole more and just not dancing around, and a good job of following his lead blocker. We've talked about Kiro Small, their fullback that was injured in the offseason, how that really hurt their power running game, but I'm really impressed with their fullback right now. Morgan Linton doing a nice job of creating holes in that running game for Arkansas.
Wilson steps up, now runs it. Slides to the 32, first down. 6-yard gain. Kentucky trying to dial up a big play, but they're just having all kinds of problems just matching up.
They are, and they're trying a lot of different things. We've seen a lot of different looks from them up front, a 3-man rush, a 4-man rush. They're trying to do blitzes to get to Tyler Wilson, and they just haven't been able to get home so far.
Floats it too long for Kobe Hamilton. Cartier Rice defending. You do wonder about the wind and how it is on the stadium floor. The flags atop the stadium are blowing big time at the back of the quarterback, but not much atop the goalposts.
It's tough for a quarterback when you really don't know which way the wind's going. It's kind of swirling a little bit. It makes you think before you make a throw. When you're trying to throw the football down the field like Tyler Wilson did on the last play, trying to get it to Kobe Hamilton, the wind at your back, you don't know how much to take off of the throw and adjust for the wind.
Throw is complete. And that is the tight end, Austin Tate, making the grab. Gain of a couple of yards. Now then Bud Dupree with the tackle. From the Kentucky 32-yard line.
These are the important downs for this Kentucky defense. They're last in the SEC in allowing their opponents to convert third downs. 53% of the time, opponents convert these third downs against Kentucky.
And tonight, Arkansas 3 for 3. Dennis Johnson with a big gaping hole. Knocked off his pins inside the 20. First down, Arkansas at the Kentucky 18.
Well, the last thing you're thinking defensively on 3rd and 10 is they're going to sneak a run on you. So Kentucky playing the pass, obviously only 3 guys at the line of scrimmage, a lot of guys in coverage expecting Tyler Wilson to drop back and throw that football, and they sneak Dennis Johnson in there, and he's untouched before he gets 12 yards down the field.
Hamilton to the 13. The #1 active player in the NCAA in yards per reception for his career, Kobe Hamilton, senior from Texarkana. 28-0 Arkansas. Kobe picks up 5, sets up 2nd and 5. Dennis Johnson. And that pile moving close to the 10. Alvin Bailey a little slow getting up. Their right guard, number 67. Third down and 2. Niall Davis. About the 8. One of the Kentucky Wildcats is Darren Blaylock jumping on his back. Under 7 to go in the second period.
And this is the area of the field that Arkansas has really struggled all season long in the red zone. They moved the ball tremendously from 20 to 20, but they've really struggled in the red zone. We talked to Tyler Wilson about that, and he said, well, we put in a lot of new stuff this week just for that area. And so far this game, it's paid off. They're 2 for 2 in the red zone, converting with Dennis Johnson down there on the run and the pass.
Arkansas completing 3 third downs on this drive, 6 for 6 tonight. 1st and goal from the 8. Touchdown. Javonte Herndon.
Just too loose of coverage down here, this area of the field. Look at all the room that Javonte Herndon has to work with. That's Cartier Rice, the senior. Down here in the field, it's so condensed, you can't just lay off the wide receiver like that. You have to get up and press these wide receivers. That's an easy throw and catch for Tyler Wilson and Javonte Herndon. Just an easy slant route without coverage.
Extra point by Hawker. Makes it 35-0 Arkansas. Tyler Wilson with his 4th touchdown pass of the night. 25 to go in the second quarter. Javonte Herndon, junior from Jacksonville, Florida, with his 3rd touchdown reception this season. And Kentucky ready to receive the kick. Touchback. Down to the field, Annie Elizabeth.
Thank you. Talking to Tyler Wilson, he told us he wishes his team could just hit the restart button. I thought that was great. He said, with all the technology, video games, PlayStation out there, if you don't like the way you're playing, it's a quick button to restart where you can go back to rewind. Tyler is also a big golfer, and he made a great analogy referring to what this Razorback team has been going through. He said you go out there on a game and you start off with a double bogey, you have to figure out a way to turn it around. Get your mind where it doesn't fluster you. Let's not change the swing in the middle of the game. He was laughing when he said this, but you can tell how much golf has really helped his attitude.
I think I need to take his advice in the golf game. Every time I start out with a double bogey, I'm working and trying to change my swing in mid-round at least to about 100. So I may need to take that advice from Tyler.
And when is the last time you double bogeyed a hole? You guys are scratch golf.
I wish.
Morgan Newton is the Kentucky quarterback. 2nd and 10. This one complete to DeMarco Robinson. Sophomore, Ellenwood, Georgia. He's got 21 balls this season for 185 yards coming in.
Kentucky has a really good group of young wide receivers that I'm really impressed with. Guys like DeMarco Robinson, DeMarcus Sweat, A.J. Legree, Darryl Collins, a very bright future at the wide receiver position for these Kentucky Wildcats.
A lot of movement up front, and penalty flags come flying. Stops the clock with 5:32 to go in the first half.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 67 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Kentucky 3 of 8 on 3rd downs. Now they're faced with a 3rd and 6.
You have to wonder about Morgan Newton. Didn't get a lot of reps in practice this week. They were really trying to get Jalen Whitlow and get as many reps as possible. He took most of the reps for the 1s and the 2s, trying to be able to expand the playbook a little bit with Jalen. So Morgan didn't get a lot of reps, but he is a senior, and he knows how to play this game.
This one goes right through the hands of Raymond Sanders. Incomplete, and Kentucky will kick it away. It has been a very frustrating evening for Joker Phillips on both sides of the football.
Really just can't get anything going offensively. They can't get that big play. Everything they're doing is throwing the football underneath. They can't get the running game going. And for Kentucky to be successful, they have to get Jonathan George and Raymond Sanders to run the football. That way they can get their play action passing down the field.
Minor, let this one bounce. Down at the 24-yard line. And with that, a stoppage. 5:03 to go. First half, 35-0 Razorbacks. South Walton Beach, Florida. Go to visitsouthwalton.com to find your perfect beach. We are back in Fayetteville, 35-0 Arkansas leading, 5:03 remaining second quarter. And the Razorbacks will have it 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. A very impressive and efficient Tyler Wilson, a quarterback for the Hawks. He was on all night to throw. Comes this one underneath to Hamilton, his favorite receiver. And Kobe takes it out of bounds for another Arkansas first down at the 45-yard line. 14-yard gain.
They tried to run the play that they've hit 2 touchdowns on already in this game. They motioned Jonathan Williams out of the backfield, tried to hit him on the wheel route, but the Kentucky defense was alert to it, covered him, but Kobe Hamilton coming across on the drag route. Tyler Wilson gets to his 3rd option on that play and delivers the football.
Kyle Davis, nice cut to the outside. And his progress will be marked at the Kentucky 49-yard line. Miles Simpson was the first man to get to him.
And a good block on the edge that time by the tackle, David Hurd, as he washes down the Kentucky defensive end, Collins Uku, and allows Niall Davis to get to the outside.
Second down and 5. Open, Hamilton takes it down to the 40-yard line. A 9-yard gain. Coming up on the Toyota Halftime Report, Andre Aldrich. standing by in our Atlanta studio with scores and highlights, all the action around the SEC tonight. He'll update you on the very important night games around the conference this evening. Stay with us. That's 3 minutes and 50 seconds away. Delay to Davis. Close to the first down. Marked at the 33. Gain of 8.
Niall Davis continues to impress me tonight, hitting the hole with a lot of speed and also the lateral cut ability. That's what he's been lacking all season long. We've seen him go very fast in his straight line runs when he's able to just go ahead and lower his head. But when he has to cut out to the side like that, that's where he's really been struggling coming off that foot injury. That time shows he's 100% healthy.
Stays in the block this time. Incomplete. Looking for Keon Hatcher, the true freshman.
Tyler Wilson missed one that time, trying to work the football to Hatcher down the seam. It was a cover 3 zone by Kentucky, and he was behind the defense, and Tyler's not going to be happy with himself when he sees that one on film.
3rd and 2. 3:03 left in the period. Davis the setback with the carry, met at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the catch that time. Alvin Dupree, a sophomore from Irwinton, Georgia, has been a very consistent performer at linebacker spot for Kentucky. Putting together a good year. Leads the team in sacks, tackles for losses. Big hit on Niall Davis. The defense, however, was offside.
Results in a first down.
And it's going to give Arkansas another first down. Boy, they get a good defensive stop, and the penalty wipes it out. Swing it. Hamilton out to the 23-yard line. Josh Forrest the tackle, a gain of 5. So very methodically, Arkansas continues to march it down. This drive began at their own 31. They have scored on every possession in this game. Dennis Johnson with blockers in front of him. Out of bounds. At the just about the 2-yard line for DJ.
Take a look at the center right here, number 64. That's Travis Swanson. Watch his athletic ability as he's able to get there in the pistol formation as he pulls around right here and leads the way for Dennis Johnson. And he gets a nice block right there to get Dennis Johnson almost in the end zone, out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
A 22-yard gain. Johnson, end zone, touchdown. His 3rd touchdown of the night. 2nd on the ground, 41-0.
Well, it's just domination at the point of attack by this Arkansas offensive line. It's happened all night in the red zone where Arkansas has struggled all season long. Here tonight against Kentucky, they continue to pound the run in the red zone area, and Dennis Johnson is the beneficiary of all that with 3 touchdowns tonight.
Hawker 6 for 6 on PATs, and that makes it 42-0 Razorbacks with 1:51 remaining before halftime. Take a look at that Dennis Johnson touchdown. Our Z-Max performance of the night.
He goes untouched into the end zone, and Morgan Linton, his fullback, lead the way. That time they come with the play action and sneak Dennis Johnson out into the flat. And here again, just power running. Good job of the offensive line driving off down here on the goal line.
Johnson's carried it 10 times for 68 yards tonight. As we mentioned, 3 touchdowns. He had a 3-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, a 2-yard run here in the second, and he also caught a touchdown pass of 5 yards. So ready for the Arkansas kick by Zach Hawker, the junior. Been a busy man tonight. 1:51 the time remaining in the second quarter. Arkansas 42-zip. This one will be returned by DeMarcus Sweat to the 13. Great coverage by Arkansas. Lafonta Lowe is the first man downfield to make the hit. So 1:45 remaining, and Jalen Whitlow will come back out for the Cats at quarterback. Incomplete. That went off the hand of Ronnie Shields.
And he had him there. Jalen Whitlow knows he threw that football behind him a little bit, but I think the reason why we see Whitlow back into the game is to get him some experience. This game is getting out of hand, 42-0. They want to see the young guy run the 2-minute drill. These type of things are going to pay off down the road for the young freshman quarterback. Always a good opportunity to get out here and run a 2-minute drill in a game-type situation.
Backed up from the 13. Whitlow will run it and get the ball out to about the 17-yard line with 90 seconds to go. Tim, what are some of the keys fans can look for from a quarterback like this, a young man trying to run this 2-minute drill?
Well, I think it's all about how much does he understand of the offense. When you're in a 2-minute drill and it's a hurry up, it's kind of a freelance type deal. And as a quarterback, you have to know what's going on. You have to know the hand signals to communicate it out to the wide receiver. He has to talk to the offensive line and get the protections right, and then also be ready for the blitzes and get rid of the football quickly.
Kentucky opted to keep it on the ground. Now 3 of 10 on third down conversions. And I believe
Arkansas,
yes.
Second charge timeout in the first half.
Razorbacks take the timeout as they stop the clock with 55 seconds to go to get it back one more time. A break, and we'll be right back. Minor will return from his 29 and breaks through. Penalty flag. Minor is gone. But there is a flag down. This one's coming back. That would have been a 71-yard punt return for a touchdown. Deontay Minor, the sophomore, but a penalty flag as he made his initial move.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 13 on the return team. Penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Take a look at this, see if we can find the block in the back. I think it's going to come right here. He's trying to spring Minor right there, just to block in the back. But nice job of setting up the blocks down the field. Other than the block in the back, Minor shows a lot of speed and athleticism.
First penalty against the Razorbacks tonight. 39 seconds remaining before halftime. The penalty takes the football back to the 21st and 10. That second major storm we anticipated looks like it's going to hit at halftime. The throw to the outside is complete to Herndon, stretching for the chain at the 29-yard line. A pickup of 9, 2nd and 1. Cody Quinn defending. So now Tyler Wilson in the hurry-up offense.
Yeah, certainly a situation that he's been in many times before. I think the main thing for Tyler, you just understand you're up 42-0 right here. The last thing you want to do is give Kentucky a cheap turnover this end of the field and allow them to get some points going into the locker room at halftime.
Airs it out down the middle. It's incomplete. Looking for Kobe Hamilton. That wind is gusting. And here in the half, it's been at Tyler's back. The flag's atop the stadium, as you see, starched, but not nearly that dramatic down on the playing surface.
That's the second time we've seen Arkansas match Kobe Hamilton up with Cartier Rice and trying to get him on the deep post pattern. And Hamilton, the guy with 677 yards receiving on the season, leading the SEC. But Cartier Rice doing a nice job of running with him stride for stride.
Kyle Davis loses one. Fourth down and 2.
Timeout. Kentucky. Their
will
first
take
charge
the
timeout in
timeout
the first half.
to get the ball back with 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Time for tonight's Peak Oil and Antifreeze Performer of the Game. No doubt about it, Tyler Wilson.
Well, Tyler Wilson has been outstanding from the word go here tonight. The first offensive play of the game. He finds Jonathan Williams out of the backfield for the big touchdown. He hasn't slowed down since. Already in the first half, 331 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he's found a lot of different receivers, mixing it up to the running backs out of the backfield. He's found his wide receivers. He's found the tight end. He's thrown the ball to the fullback, and he is dissecting this Kentucky defense right now.
So the first punt tonight for the Razorbacks. Dylan Breeding, who has been outstanding this year. A long-time punter here at Arkansas. Kentucky with pressure. Ball will hit and be down at the 25-yard line. And that will be the end of the half. So a complete thrashing of the Wildcats by Arkansas here in this first half. They dominated both sides of the football, and the score is an accurate indication of what type of half it was. Tyler Wilson was tremendous, and the Arkansas defense never let Kentucky get a breath in that first half of play. 42-0 is our halftime score, with the Razorbacks on top. Elizabeth.
Coach, Tyler Wilson has 331 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first half. What are you seeing out of him?
Yeah, Tyler Wilson's doing a great job. We have to keep playing as hard as we did. I liked our focus. We came out after the delay and played extremely well. Dennis is running the ball, and we have to continue to run it, see if we can run it a little bit better this second half. But we're throwing it around okay.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Very satisfied. John L. Smith jogs to the locker room as his ball club putting together a dominating first half. Our score at the break, Arkansas 42, Kentucky nothing. Andre Aldridge with all the scores and highlights coming up. Idle fame here at halftime here tonight. Arkansas 42 and Kentucky nothing here as we get set to start the third quarter. Bob Rathman, Tim Couch with you. Total domination. No other way to describe it.
It is both sides of the football. This Arkansas defense dominating the Kentucky offense, and exactly what we thought would happen. If Kentucky couldn't get pressure on Tyler Wilson, they allowed him time to throw the football from the pocket, he was going to torch this young Kentucky secondary, and certainly that's what he's done here in the first half.
Tyler's first half number is incredible. He was 11 of 12 in the first quarter, and he ended the first half hitting 19 passes as we check tonight's Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Tyler 19 of 25 for 331 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And he's doing a nice job of spreading the football around. He's hit 8 different receivers so far in the first half, and Dennis Johnson doing a great job on the ground for these Razorbacks. 10 carries, almost 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Arkansas doing whatever they want right now to this Kentucky defense.
And I think one of the questions is, will Tyler come out in the second half? DJ was terrific as he rushed the ball well, caught a couple of passes for touchdowns. Anything that they wanted to do, pretty much they got done in that first half. So we'll see what John L's got up his sleeve, the way he wants to play it with the big lead as we begin the third quarter. And it will be Arkansas football at the 25-yard line after the touchback. Let's go down to the field and Elizabeth.
Bob, thank you. I caught up with Joker Phillips and asked him how we can slow down this offense, and he said, we have to get them in 3rd and long, and then we have to get them off of the field. He said, we're not putting any pressure on Tyler Wilson. You can't let him stand back there like he has. And I asked the biggest adjustments, and he said, you know what, at this point, Elizabeth, we just have to play with pride. And I have to tell you guys, it's starting to rain down here.
Yes, we can see, Elizabeth, and we just hope that the thunder and lightning stay away so we can continue with the game. We had an hour and 5 minute weather delay in that first half. Well, Tyler's out there, and he throws a pass right away to Mikhail McKay, and that will move the football down to about the 32-yard line and set up 2nd and short. Tyler Wilson came in hitting 58% of his passes and averaging a league best 317 yards per game. He had 235 yards passing in the first quarter. Dennis Johnson breaks a tackle, breaks a couple of tackles, and has the Arkansas first down at the 40-yard line. We, as we mentioned, had that weather delay in the first quarter. We anticipated a second round of storms, and we're just on the edge of what looks to be on the radar a very big rainstorm. And again, not much pressure on the quarterback. A completed pass here and more yardage for Arkansas. That's a gain of about 9 yards.
It's just a very loose zone coverage. Look at the protection from the offensive line. Tyler Wilson just continues to have so much time. Everyone's dropping in the deep zone for Kentucky. They're afraid of giving the big play up over the top. So all this underneath stuff is going to be wide open for Arkansas here in the second half.
DeArthur Cowan made that last catch. Johnson runs the football to the Kentucky 45-yard line for another first down. That's a 6-yard gain. Johnson now has carried the ball 11 times tonight for 74 yards. He has split that time in the backfield with Niall Davis. Dennis Johnson coming off a great game last week. Remember, he's playing with a broken left hand. Little play action over the middle and into what amounted to triple coverage, trying to find Kobe Hamilton. Incomplete.
They continue to try to get Kobe Hamilton on that post pattern. They think they see something in Kentucky defense. This time, we've seen him matched up a couple times on Cartier Rice. This time he's on the young freshman Cody Quinn, and the ball is underthrown once again down the field. Cody Quinn showing good closing speed. He's playing well in that secondary for a freshman. He got a chance to play some earlier in the season and doing a nice job getting his hands on a lot of footballs.
To the 40, to the 38-yard line, as McKay has a gain of 7. Expected to have a big night tonight. McKay, a product of Louisville, playing against his home state tonight.
I know offensive coordinator Paul Petrino is very excited about the potential of Mikhail McKay. He's a freshman, but they love his size, 6'6", the big playability that he brings to this Arkansas offense, especially down in the red zone. They like to throw him the slants and the fades down there, and they look for big things for him in the future.
Big high school basketball star. Niall Davis tightropes that sideline and goes out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Once again, just great blocking by this offensive line. Alvin Bailey, the center, Travis Swanson. They all get around to pull on this sweep play, and Niall Davis just picks his way through the Kentucky defense.
Niall Davis picks up 18 yards, one of his longer runs of the season. His longest to date has been 28 yards. Davis with blockers. Good tough run to about the 11-yard line. Gain of 7 for number 7.
And they continue to run the edges on this Kentucky defense. The offensive linemen are doing a nice job, and tight ends as well, of sealing the edge of that Kentucky defense, allowing these Arkansas running backs, both Niall Davis and Dennis Johnson, to get to the edge consistently.
And a penalty flag. I believe the center, Travis Swanson, moved the ball.
False start, 71 offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Now it is charged to Justin Peacock, the tackle. That moves the football back to the 18. Very few penalties in this game. That's the second against Arkansas. For 15 yards. Incomplete. Josh Forrest with some pressure that time. Third and 8 coming for John Hill and company. Arkansas. This is Julian Horton.
Great throw that time by Tyler Wilson, finding Julian Horton in the seam of this cover 3 zone for Kentucky. Great timing as he fits it in between the safety and the corner and finds Julian Horton for another Arkansas touchdown.
The extra point is good, and with 10:39 to play in the second quarter, Arkansas gets a 5th touchdown pass from Tyler Wilson.
Get to tune in every Wednesday night at 10 Eastern to SEC Gridiron Live on Fox Sports South. This week we will be previewing the biggest game, Tennessee at Alabama, South Carolina at Florida. We also have our Oh Charlie's Oh moments. Des, Tim, and James will pick their winners in week 8. And we also have a very special feature on some of the best barbecue in the South. Find out where that is and whether or not I passed the cooking test there. That's 10 Eastern every Wednesday night, SEC Gridiron Live. And guys, I know you might not be enjoying this, but maybe a little. I was freezing last Saturday night, and this Saturday night it's pouring down rain. Come on.
Well, at least SEC Gridiron Live is indoors.
You got Wednesday to look forward to.
Out of bounds, out of the end zone, and a touchback to bring it out to the 25-yard line. Yes, it is raining, or was a moment ago, sideways, as that wind continues to pelt the upper deck of the stadium. There are some hardy souls, Tim Couch, in the upper deck tonight here at Razorback Stadium. You see the wind. It is raining, and these great Razorback fans that are hanging in there are really being subjected to the elements. From the 25 for Kentucky, and a handoff to Raymond Sanders, and smacked down at the 26-yard line. Big hit by A.J. Turner, number 31.
A.J. Turner, their freshman linebacker. Good job initially at the line of scrimmage for Kentucky, but A.J. Turner reads that play and flies across the formation, puts the big hit on Raymond Sanders.
Intercepted, no, incomplete. That bounced into the hands of the linebacker as Jalen Woodlow nearly saw that pass intercepted. 3rd and 9.
Those are just passes, Whitlow. It's just a comfort thing. He's not comfortable in the pocket. He's not setting his feet. That's an easy throw and catch on a curl route. He just has to put that football on Murad King. He's throwing it at his feet. It's just a confidence thing right now, I think, for Jalen Whitlow.
Penalty flag.
False start, 77 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And this is the balancing act any coach has to go through to subject your true freshman quarterback in a game like this and trying to buy him experience, but you want that experience to be positive.
You do, and that's the thing. When you're handling a young quarterback, you have to be careful, in my opinion, to handle his mental psyche as far as having confidence and putting him in situations where he's able to go out, get some completions, throw some touchdowns, have some success. But right now, Whitlow really struggling to find wide receivers. Kentucky the wide receivers are getting locked up at the line of scrimmage by these Arkansas defensive backs playing bump and run coverage. So not a lot of guys running open in that Arkansas secondary.
That was Chris Smith, number 42 of Arkansas, who nearly swallowed that pass. Another punt for Kentucky. It's 7th of the night. Keontae Minor back deep to receive the Landon Foster punt. Punt into the wind and returned by Minor. A punt of 38 yards and the return near midfield. 1st and 10 when we come back for the Razorbacks. 9:52 to play in the third. 49-0 Arkansas, and these Hale and Hardy fans are braving it. It is raining sideways at Razorback Stadium. Brandon Allen has come in at quarterback, taking over for Tyler Wilson. And throws this one incomplete at the 50-yard line. Brandon Allen, the redshirt freshman from here in Fayetteville, who was thrust into national attention, making that start in the Alabama game.
Well, that's the last defense you want to see, trying to make your first start against that Nick Saban-coached Alabama defense. But Brandon Allen's a good football player. He has the size you look for in a quarterback, 6'3", 212. He's thrown for 178 yards on the season and a touchdown. And it looks like that John L. Smith and Paul Petrino are going to let him come out here and throw it around tonight some, even with a 49-0 lead.
He's at 44% of his passes. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. And this is dropped at the 46. And we salute you, our O'Charlie's fans of the game.
I tell you right now, my dedication to my fan support for my team would be in question in this type of weather. I think I'd be the first one heading for the aisles in this one.
They are just getting pelted. But they love their Hogs, and they are here to support them. 49-0 Arkansas. 3rd and 10. Incomplete at the 50. I mean, it's just got to be miserable out there in these conditions.
It really is. It's hard to throw the football, hard to catch the football in these conditions. I'm a little surprised to see Arkansas come out and throw 3 straight passes on that drive. I thought we would see a little bit more of the running game, try to work on that a little bit going forward with this big lead.
Second punt for Dylan Breeding. Marco Robinson, the deep man for Kentucky, backpedaling to his own 10. Oh, it hit it, and he caught it. He can't return it. 37-yard punt and a penalty flag. .9:22 left in the third period. 49-0 Arkansas. A driving rainstorm in Fayetteville.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
And with that a break, 9:22 to play. I think they've had enough. Is brought to you by Hyundai, by Coors Light, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Ram Trucks, and by Dairy Queen. Welcome back to rainy Fayetteville, everybody. Bob Rathman, Tim Couch, Elizabeth Morrow with you. 49-0 Arkansas as the Wildcats have the football 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Jalen Whitlow, the true freshman quarterback from Prattville, Alabama, at the controls and a delay to Deshaun Mobley. And he will take it a couple of yards out to the 22. Another true freshman getting some playing time tonight. Mobley is from Powell, Tennessee. Coming in 14 carries, 70 yards. It will be second down and 8. Shaw takes it out to about the 30-yard line. 5'11", 223.
He's a guy this coaching staff is really high on. He shows a lot of potential, runs with a ton of power. He's a big physical running back for a freshman, as he showed on that play, able to get the pad level down and finish runs.
Third and short. Kentucky hustles up to the line. Whitlow under center. Gives it to his true freshman. He's got the first down. And then some. At the 34-yard line. A 5-yard pickup.
You see a little bit of the power I was talking about from Mobley that time. He was met in the hole by number 57. That's Jared Green right there, right at the sticks. And he continued to drive those legs and fall forward for a first down for Kentucky.
And Green, a 6-foot, 315-pound defensive tackle. And he was able to push him back. You see him move the pile again out to the 38-yard line.
And that's what's impressive is, you know, you just see the leg drive. You see him continuing to fall forward and move the pile. And that's what you want to see out of a young running back. He's not dancing back there. He's putting his head down. He's running with that pad level that I mentioned. And he's able to finish these runs and keep Kentucky in positive situations on first down, setting up second and short situations.
To the 39-yard line. His longest run has been 13 this season, averaging 5 yards a carry. Very impressive boost of energy here for the Cats as he's come into the game on this drive. Third down and 5 yards to go. Halfway through the third period in a driving rainstorm. To throw, and it's complete down the sideline. And Kentucky is going to get a touchdown from Lerod King. Jalen Whitlow gets Kentucky on the board as Lerod King, the senior, makes his first catch of the night.
This is the cover 2 zone. Watch Jalen Whitlow. He realized it's 3rd and 5 situation. That corner knows it too. Watch him sit in the flat. They wanted to go in the flat, and Whitlow recognizes the coverage and is able to throw it with enough velocity, get it to Lerod King before the safety is able to come over the top in that cover 2 situation. Very good job of reading and recognizing that coverage and delivering a very strong, accurate throw to Lerod King.
Greg McIntosh with the PAT, and the Cats are on the board at 49-7. King's 4th touchdown reception.
Take another look at Lerod King, the senior leader for the wide receiving corps. But Whitlow, you see him hesitate just a little bit in the pocket, but he's still able to put enough velocity on that throw. And that's very encouraging for a young quarterback to recognize situations. You know you're in a 3rd and 5 situation. The defense is in a cover 2. They're playing that flat where you're initially trying to get the ball to the slot receiver just to get a first down. And he sees the corner squatting out in the flat, and he's able to take the ball over the top for a big touchdown for Kentucky.
So for Jalen Whitlow, his first touchdown pass. Here's our Crystal game summary with Kentucky now breaking the shutout 49-7. The total yards, Arkansas has rolled up 524 tonight. Now 170 for Kentucky. Well, congratulations to Jalen Whitlow. This true freshman finds the senior, Lerod King, for the touchdown. And now Kentucky will kick it with 6:46 to play.
We talked about bringing along young quarterbacks earlier, Bob, but it doesn't matter that the score right now was 49-7. It's building that confidence and learning for the future for Jalen Whitlow, and just getting a touchdown pass on the road in the SEC will certainly go and helping his confidence down the road.
And a play like that will go such a long way. You need some positive reinforcement. A game that's long since been decided, but he's out there learning. and trying to motivate his ball club and motivate himself, and they have something good now, a good feeling about things, goes a long way.
That's exactly right. You know, you go back and you watch this film for Kentucky, and it's going to be not a pretty thing to watch, you know, when they go back on the offensive side of the ball. Not a lot of completed passes, not a lot of big plays in this football game, but that's one that they can, it's a teaching moment for Jalen Whitlow, and a positive one that he can certainly put in the memory bank for the future.
Niall Davis tracked down from behind as Josh Forrest came up and made the tackle. The rain increases in intensity. When you look at the reflection in the lights, it looks like it's snowing, not raining. Davis sheds the tackler. Wrestled out of bounds at the 28-yard line. This is what we're talking about, the upper deck, except for the little cluster fans there to the right of your screen. The only ones that are left in that upper deck. I mean, it is just miserable out there. 3rd and 7. Arkansas tonight, 8 of 10 on 3rd downs. Allen rolling. Could not make it to the stick. Picks up 6. And to get to the 35-yard line.
Good job of pursuit from the inside out from his middle linebacker position. Poncho Thomas able to beat Brandon Allen to the 6.
And a flash of lightning. Marco Robinson is deep, and we are going to have a stoppage. That lightning bolt will bring us to a second weather delay, it appears. In the first quarter, play was halted for 65 minutes with 3:32 remaining in the period. And now they're checking the radar and the lightning that just crackled overhead. We may be in for a second delay. Teams have gone to the sidelines. Like play will continue. So obviously the Lightning's far enough away not to force a suspension at this time, and the punt's coming. This should be an adventure. These punts. Now another whistle. And we are going to have a suspension.
Play will be suspended due to lightning within 6 miles of the stadium.
And so to the locker rooms the teams will go. Fans will take cover. And we'll take a break. 5:08 is our time remaining in the 3rd period, with Arkansas leading Kentucky 49-7. And our second lightning delay of the night. We will be back. Andre Aldridge will update us on scores and highlights from our studio in Atlanta when we continue right after this. Wait, 3rd quarter in our second lightning delay of the night tonight. Bob Rathman and Tim Couch with you. We hope to have official word at approximately 9:55 local time, so we'll obviously pass that along just as soon as we get the word on whether or not we will continue with our football game. What we saw was total domination by Arkansas tonight. It started early. It started often as Tyler Wilson was on top of his game in that first quarter.
He really was, and it was from the first play of the game offensively where he found a touchdown to his running back, Jonathan Williams, down the sideline, and he just never slowed down from there. Tyler was outstanding tonight in decisions, throwing the football down the field, pocket presence. The offensive line did an outstanding job of giving him time to throw so he could get the football to these playmakers. He spread the football around to 8 different receivers tonight. He threw 5 touchdown passes, and they were coming in chunks down the field, and his receivers were making plays for him. And this Kentucky secondary that's so young, 3 true freshmen, were just giving these Arkansas wide receivers way too much room to operate down the field.
Our Principal Financial Group edge of the game tonight, and every edge went to Arkansas. Massive statistical advantages. Total yards, 533 to 170, 24 first downs to 6. Even the possession time, the drives didn't last that long, but they still had the advantage there. 21 minutes and 37 seconds for the Razorbacks here tonight. And we posed the question, Tim, at the beginning of our telecast tonight, could Arkansas maintain the momentum that they found at Auburn last week? And the answer, a resounding yes.
It was, and especially defensively. Defensively, they were great last week against Auburn. They had 8 sacks. They forced 5 turnovers. And tonight they did the same thing to Kentucky. They got after quarterback Jalen Whitlow and also Morgan Newton when he was in the football game. And both of those quarterbacks really struggled to complete any passes until Whitlow found LaRod King down the sideline for a big touchdown. But before that, it was a lot of incomplete passes and no running game from Kentucky.
Kentucky couldn't stop the pass, obviously, with Tyler Wilson, nor could they stop the run here early tonight. I want to take you back and show you great blocks up front on our Coors Light Freeze Can.
I was really impressed with their fullback, number 35, Morgan Linton, all night. He was the lead blocker in this power running game for Arkansas. He consistently sealed the edge and allowed Niall Davis and Dennis Johnson to just pick their way through this Kentucky defense. So very impressive performance from Linton, just leading the way for these Arkansas running backs.
As Arkansas bids for a back-to-back victory for the first time this season, they won their opener against Jacksonville State, then the 4-game losing streak, the victory last week at Auburn, now looking to make it 2 in a row before an off week. Our Regions Bank trivia question tonight was the first game in Arkansas history on this date back in 1894. Could you name the opponent? We had many, many guesses here in the booth, but no one came up with Fort Smith High School. Arkansas won that game 42-0.
High school. Fort Smith High School.
You know, it was 1894.
It was. Things were a little different back then.
In a weather delay, we will continue with more from Andre in the studio coming up. We'll keep you posted here. Should have a decision at 9:55 Central Time. Andre, back to you. I'm here this evening, halting the proceedings. It's just been brutal weather-wise here. Lightning has once again reared its ugly head, and so the suspension will continue for at least the next 30 minutes, and it looks like the storm is going to be here for quite some time. Bob Rathbun and Tim Couch with you, and 9:55 Central Time came and went, and yet no official announcement. But as soon as we get word from downstairs, we know that the operations people, athletic directors involved to determine whether or not we will resume play here tonight. And as soon as they make a decision, we'll, of course, pass it along to you. It's got to be tough on the players, Tim, not first of all, not knowing, and then second of all, to try to get them back out here if indeed we do tonight, to get them warmed up to play football a second time.
A second time would be just brutal on the players. One time is hard enough to go get your emotions up to play a football game before the game starts, then be taken off the field, go in the locker room, and have to do all that again and loosen up again the whole thing. To do it after this second delay, which would be just tough on the players. I think you put the players at risk for injury doing that the second time. It's just hard to do that 2 times in a night.
If you are just joining us tonight, our Quicken Loans game summary looks like this. With Arkansas just dominating play, Tyler Wilson was terrific in that first quarter as Arkansas scored the first 6 possessions of this ball game tonight and rolled up the big halftime lead. Total yardage 533 to 170 pretty much tells the story, because not only did Arkansas dominate the ball offensively, Kentucky was unable to do anything once they got the ball. With all their injuries and all their young people trying to make a go of it here tonight, just nothing went right for the Cats.
Nothing went right for the Cats, you're right. And for Jalen Whitlow making his first SEC road start, he had to have a running game to support him tonight, and they never got going. Jonathan George, Raymond Sanders, none of the running backs for Kentucky were able to get anything on the ground against this tough Arkansas defense.
We want to show you our coverage of the game. This is our Direct Auto Insurance coverage of the game tonight. Now, of course, Direct Auto prefers 100% coverage, but given the wind and the rain, 100% coverage was tough.
100% was tough, but I love the dedication sitting through the rain. They're talking it out there, and you see their hoods getting blown off, the rain's hitting them in the side of the face. Pretty good dedication from the fans tonight.
That it was. Hearty souls in the upper deck here tonight at Razorback Stadium, no doubt about that. Audrey will be back in just a moment. More scores and highlights will keep you up to date on a busy night in the SEC. We'll be back in just a moment. The final score is Arkansas 49 and Kentucky 7. You're looking at a shot underneath the stadium here as the officials are getting ready to exit the stadium. The game has been terminated in the third quarter due to all the inclement weather. The massive rain and the lightning continues here at Razorback Stadium, but there will be no more football here tonight. Arkansas picks up its third win. They go to 3-4 on the campaign, and they've got their second straight SEC win. Kentucky drops to 1-6. Once again, our final score tonight, the Arkansas Razorbacks 49 and the Kentucky Wildcats 7. Join us next week for more SEC football. Teams still to be determined. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local listings. For Elizabeth Morrow, Tim Couch, and our incredible crew who's got a lot of work to do in all this inclement weather, this is Bob Rathman saying so long from Fayetteville, Arkansas.